Okay. So, good afternoon, all, and welcome all. Let me introduce Arun Sakya, sir. Already, I have shared the information to all the faculty members, but let me one more time introduce sir. Arun Shakya ji, he has completed his MBA from IIT Roorkee in 2001, and he's a production engineer. He has completed his production engineering from BIT Mishra. He has worked as an IT manager at Eicher Motors, and he worked on solutions around employee services, and he was collaborating for ERP and other area. He worked with Britannia Industry for 5 years as their head of SAP. He was handling multiple implementations, acquisitions, process improvements, analytics. He worked with the divisional IT head for Volvo Eicher commercial vehicles for 3 years, handling their systems and truck mother plan, setting up greenfield Euro 6 complaint engine plan, solutions around analytics, dealer management, vendor portals, integrations, etc. He also worked as head IT at Bharatiya Group to revamp their IT setup. Uh, and he also looked after ERP implementations and IT organization setup over there. He also worked with TCS for their global clients in their area of smart manufacturing, Industry 4.0, IIT plant automation solutions. Currently, he is working as the general manager IT for Mankind Pharma. He's handling the enterprise applications vertical for the group. His roles includes driving digital transformations initiatives across the organizations, problem solving and solutioning, a new age technology, introductions, new product, business, startup identifications for pharma business. So I welcome Arun Saiji as our speaker, and let me also have introduced the second speaker, Ashutosh Ji, who is an innovation ambassador who completed his advanced level training and currently looking after entrepreneurship development cell of BIT Mishra. He is an entrepreneur, trainer, and startup mentor, national level speaker on startup, and faculty member, Department of Mechanical Engineering, BIT Mishra. He is having 9+ years of industry experience in various domains such as IT and ITES, manufacturing and mechanical installations, project management, contractor and site management in various MNCs. With the vast work experience of 20+ years, including training, teaching, and industry, mentored 6+ successful startups in India. I welcome Ashutosh ji, Arun Sahai, both to the webinar, and I welcome all the faculty members. I welcome our registrar ma'am, Dr. Anita Patroji, for to this webinar. And with this, I would like to hand over the responsibility to the speakers, Ashutosh ji Arun Sai, to handle the situations and webinar, and to talk about technology readiness level. So we are all faculty members of Central University of Technology from different teams. So it's all on you. Thank you. And
Okay, thank you, Dr. Madhusmita. I'll just start what we'll do. I welcome all the faculty members of Centurion University for this talk regarding TRL. And we will start, and actually I am going to start this and we will just tell you the basics and everything about technology readiness level. Okay, after and in between Mr. Arun also will be plugging in to give you pragmatic approach on how the technology readiness level is checked and how it is implemented in industries. Okay, so let me share this. Is it just a minute.
yes, this is visible.
Is it visible?
This time, this is your email.
Wait. Just let me share it again. Let me share it again. Is it okay?
Yes, please put in slideshow mode. We can see now.
Slide. So F5, I am F5, but it is not me.
Yeah, here up it is there, no slideshow besides animation. Insert, design, transition, animation slides.
Slides. E.
Yeah, there only up. Insert, design, transition, animation slideshow. उसके ऊपर
This
ऊपर
one,
वाला line, right you go where it is written home, insert, design,
no,
transition.
this is coming in between actually. Yes, wait. Yeah.
You can also click from current slide that would start from this.
Okay, that's fine, right?
Okay.
Is it
good? Yes.
Is it visible now?
We can see.
Okay, right. Good evening to you all. Actually, today we will talk about the technology readiness levels. So first of all, let me tell you why this is important. Why technology readiness level is important. When we talk of startups, it is about problem solving, right? So once a problem, to solve the problem, definitely you must have some idea. Now that idea has to grow, and then you have to prove that your idea is correct in the sense, whether it is an innovation or problem solving, that idea has to qualify, right? So again, the idea has to be converted into product. So for that for that reason, we measure whether your technology or your solution is ready or not. So how much ready it is. So the level of technology is measured, right? So that's why we have I have put startup. Startup is all about problem solving. It is not just business, it is about problem solving, right? So whatever problem is there, you have some ideation, then you have to have that idea has to be validated. Then you come to a POC, which is proof of concept. Whatever concept you have developed, that is proved or not. So that, and then testing. Then you have to graduate the technology. You have to update that technology, and then again at the end part, you have to see that whether this technology is going to market, whether it will be correct or not. I mean, whether as a product you are able to put into the market or not, right? So there may be technical startup, non-technical startup, how to make ready your product or service, stage of readiness of the product, okay, those things. So every level, you have to check that whatever you are thinking, whatever your concept is going to be technologically ready or not. How technical in the in the wake of technology, in the wake of whatever your conceptualization is there, whether it is it can be converted into product, and if it is converted into product for particular purpose or the design, whether that function is being done by that particular product or not. Okay, so what does it mean? So you can all read. It is the method of understanding the technical maturity of a technology during its acquisition phase. Now, suppose any technology we are taking, acquiring, whether how mature it is. Okay, so the measuring that is called readiness levels. It allows the engineers to have a consistent datum of reference. Datum in the sense it has to be a baseline. From that baseline, we will count. So how ready it is, which level it is. So there are 9 levels of TLRs, I mean TRLs, right? Starting from, you can say 10 because we take 0 also. So technological readiness level 0 also. So 0 is what? 0 is just whatever you are thinking as an idea. So ideation stage is called 0. So anytime if you have any problem means, I mean, you can ask, right? So what do TRLs measure, right? So it measures the maturity level of a technology throughout its research, development, and deployment phase progression. Technology readiness levels are based on a scale of 1 to 9. Basically, it is not included 0 here because 0 and 1 is ideation stage only. So there are a lot of ideas coming. Then one idea you are thinking that this is the idea which will solve my problem. Then it is called ideation level, and that is called TRL1. Then the 2, 3, 4 up to 9 we are having, right? With 9 being the most mature technology. Okay. So I will give a small example, and I'll also invite at this stage Mr. Arun also, so that he can give you some practical idea how this TRL in the research part and how it is implemented in his particular industry. Okay. For example, suppose you want to go for a new product, right? So we take an example of, let's say, I was working in Godrej. So we were working for warehousing technology. So okay, so there are 18 types of products, right? So let's say multiplex, I mean racking. So there, if the customer has given you one new product. So new product, you have to research that, you have to design a new product because it's not a standard product, right? So for that, what you have to do is you have to go through research, right? And then you have to, go for a prototype. Then again, you have to test the prototype. Then again, you have to go to the market or go to, find the function, whether it is functioning correct or not. Function in the sense, you have to put the load there for which it is designed, and for a period of time, it is the mechanical aspect of it is tested. So once it is passed through those tests, then only we can say that this is TRL level 4. So it is over to Arun now. He will give you some insight of how it is applied in industry. Arun sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. I basically currently am with the pharma organization. So I will try to kind of, give you some of the examples what we, have in the pharma, so to say, specific to our organization, so to say, right? So specifically at when we talk of a TRL level 1, which is at the ideation stage, where we kind of have an idea in hand and try to, build on that. So typically in the industry, from the organization side, when we say we typically look at, like, who is my end customer, right? So what is their problem? So we try to take that up and try to take that thread and try to solve that. So in my current role, one of my activity is also to identify the startups where basically are into this kind of uh, ideation stage and have those ideas and where they're building on that. So I'll just quote one example for that, just to kind of highlight on the TRL1, right? Now, in pharma, typically what we generally always talk of is like, who is my end customer, right? So we try to say the end customer is the consumer who is actually consuming the drug, or it is the chemist who is selling the medicine, or is it the doctor who is actually prescribing the medicine? So typically now the orientation of the pharma companies has been into focusing on the doctors who are actually going to be prescribing my medicines, right? So there was one startup which we have kind of invested in. They have done something known as just like we have Netflix, they have done something known as Docflix. So this is basically a need which has come into have some kind of a quality content, just like kind of a content which people enjoy on the Netflix for the entertainment. We have something known as a Docflix, which this and a startup has brought up, and the kind of we are kind of into building onto that. So this idea which we caught up and build on that to build some kind of a quality content for the doctors, which are not only used by the practicing doctors and even by the the medical students who are the future doctors which are in pipeline, right? So this is a platform which we have launched now and kind of invested in, which will help us to kind of reach to our end customer and get them attached to the organization, right? So a kind of a need or a kind of a unique thought process which kind of can be capitalized into a kind of a business idea, right? So this is one of the example. So the other example which I can quote is like, when I was working with ECG capsules, so the problem that is faced is, that capsules are typically, they are made of gelatin, right? So gelatin is basically animal extract. And there was a big problem selling that product, in the especially in the Gulf countries, right? Because it's basically a pig, is extract from the pig, right? So there was a problem identified and a business need came up to have some kind of a vegetable extract based capsules. So that's where, like, the whole idea, a kind of a seed to was planted to generate the vegetable extract based capsules, right? And then that's what we came up with. So what we call it as SPMC capsules, which is kind of little costly, but definitely, like, that has kind of brought up altogether a different market altogether for us. Similarly, there was, like, a need for capsules designed in such a way which has got a delayed release capability, so that when the consumer is consuming the capsule is actually dissolved in the body at a delayed point of time and not immediately. So the medicine efficacy of the medicine is delivered at the point where it is actually required. So these are some of the examples I just wanted to quote where uh, the ideation is typically coming up from the end customer or the business need, right? And that is where that's where the whole, then the next level of TRLs come into picture in terms of the whole research goes into after that. Yeah, Astos, over to you.
Okay, thank you. I think everybody has understood what he was talking about. He was talking about when a problem comes. So that was a problem of, that capsule where you have to research. You have to go all out and change the whole system of making that capsule, because capsule was made with gelatin and they needed some vegetable product, I mean vegetable item, with which it was to be made. So he was basically talking about the research part, which is coming under the TRL3 level or TRL4 level. So basically TRL1, TRL2, TRL3, it is basically ideation and POC, that means proof of concept. So first is your initial scientific research begins. For example, let's say study and basic material properties principle of qualitative postulation and observation, right? So this is your level 1. Level 2 is defining your problem. So even if you are going for research and innovative design, let's say in your research also, that also you can measure that technological advancement levels in terms of TRLs. For example, somebody is doing research and he or she is in a process of going for patents, right? So that product that you are designing, or let's say your service or a software or whatever you are designing for a patent to be patented, then you can just measure this, how mature your technology is. So let us go to the next. So this is what you just, we can share it also later on, but you see from the basic principle observed, this is your technology readiness level 1. Then 2 is technology concept formulation. So you conceptualizing the problem, conceptualizing the research, designing the experiment, those things, right? Once these things are designed and concept is formulated, then you have to prove that concept, whether your concept is correct or not. Okay, so maybe experimentally you have to prove, or theoretically you have to prove and show that whatever I have conceptualized is correct, right? Then you have technology validation in lab. So what you do is, once you have theoretically or practically, I mean the experimentally, you have proved that whatever concept is correct, it is working, then you have to go to validate and lab in the sense you have to test. So in case of product, suppose if I am from mechanical engineering and worked in mechanical in manufacturing field also, then we need to, if we are going for, let's say, a new welding tool we developed. So that welding tool based on one small robo. So whether that welding is correct or not, I mean, having the required strength or not, that you have to do it in lab, right? So what is the tensile strength? What is the ultimate strength? What is the hardness? Those things you have to check it out. So this is number 4. After number 4, and in the number 4 only, the prototype happens, right? In product, you have to prototype happens. Then 4, 5, 6 is development phase. You can read it out yourself. Technology validated in relevant environment, technology demonstration in relevant environment. This validation in environment, relevant environment, in the sense he was talking about the end customers. So you have to take to the end customer environment and check it out whether that is working or not. Whether it is engineering product, or it is simple product, or FMCG, or whatever that, or pharma. So you have to go to the level of the here relevant environment, in the sense it is basically talking about the customers, okay, or customer like environment. So this is what basically we are talking about. And the 6th is again demonstrating that particular technology to the environment, that is again the customers. So this is the development phase. This 1, 2, 3 is the research phase, and the last is deployment phase, right? So deployment phase, we have system prototype, demonstration in operational environment. Then system operational environment, in the sense, if talking about the pharma industry, then we have to check that, for example, that this COVID-19 vaccine. So we are checking, before releasing that, we are checking. That is your level 7. Similarly, level 8 is system complete and qualified. Once you know that system is qualified, then what you have to do at the end, you have to put into the environment to operationalize that particular technology. That means you are marketing that. So you are launching. At the end, you have to launch it. So these things are very, very important in almost all the sectors, but especially more in the field of technology and engineering. For example, space technology. You see, these are very, very important. It came from NASA only. This TRL levels, it came from NASA, because once you are going to space and you are making a spacecraft, in that you need to doubly be doubly sure that whatever we are doing it should not fail. It should be the technology has to be resilient when it is put to operation. Next, you see, this is what again the same thing we have done. This is a growth, technology readiness level growth. So again, 1 and 2, basic technology research to prove the feasibility, 2 and 3, right? Then again, 3, 4, 5 is technology development. This is the development stage, right? And then technology development, this is engineering development. I'm sure you all the faculty members know the difference about technology development and engineering development. So engineering development, in the sense we are going product by product. So suppose I'm going to design a vehicle, then engineering development will be design of machine elements, right? Design of machine elements. Each elements we design separately and then test it. That is engineering development. Then system test and operations. So basically, in terms of business, I can say that it is the product is launched now. It's to be launched at after the end of 9th, stage. TRL level 2, we are already talked about. Readiness level 2, it is about conceptualization. So we are conceptualizing. Concept has, and problem identification has been done. Concept is ready. 3 again the same thing. So you can have an idea. Just I have drawn some, how to get that concept. Type of research methodologies is already there. People are already researchers, so you might be knowing that. Then technology readiness level 3 talks about the proof of concept. So how the proof of concept means, once the concept is ready in terms of product or in terms of your service, so theoretically or experimentally you have to prove. Okay, theoretically or experimentally you have to prove. At this stage, this is the POC versus MVP. So at this stage, I will say Arun to give an example. Arun, over to you.
Yeah, so typically, in our organization, in a pharma setup, like now, when we are saying that a TRL2 level is where we have, based on the ideation, we develop the models in our simulation tools, right? So where today, because of this big data and AI, backed capabilities in the systems today. So the system, I'm able to model the ideations or my requirements onto these simulation tools and test those simulation tools on these. So without right now even going for the physical model for now, right? So typically that's what happens in the R&D unit, where we have these simulation tools where these models are built and tested out. And the most important thing at this stage, in any pharma setup, is like the collection of the data at this stage, like every single step, every single input going into the model. That data collection is kind of really a kind of a big importance, which contributes to the the further ideation or the subsequent validations that are required, right? So but as soon as the basic models are validated on the simulation tools, we enter into kind of a level 3 where the physical model is made, the actual, the chemical are brought in to really make the physical the molecule which is being researched into. Of course, at that point, the product per se is not ready. It's basically the molecule that is being kind of conceived, right? Minus the whole packaging and the whole the overall product which actually will go into the market. But it is the physical the physical product gets born at that point of time as part of the third level. Yeah, Astus, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. He has given a nice example. Hopefully, you have all understanding. See, POC is proof of concept. That means at least when you have proved that my concept is correct, okay, it is implementable. It is, we can go ahead with the prototype, right? Then it seems that it is a minimum viable product. Whether before this, in startup, if you are talking about startup, okay, or even for patents, this is the very important part of level 3. If you have not this minimum viable product, that the viability of not proving, okay, then nobody is going to give you money, right, for your startup. So at least the viability of your product has to be proved, right? So these are the 3-4 things based on the try and test approach. Is one, checks the feasibility, whether it is feasible or not, okay. No users are involved, thus no customer's journey exists for internal references based on these 4 steps for the minimal viable product. So you see, viability is important because not only in terms of technology it checks the product, but also in terms of function, whether it is functioning correct or not, and in terms of that cost. What is the cost? What is the value? So value cost analysis also is done to get this minimum viability product, right? You see, proof of concept in IT project is one small example. Self-explanatory, you can go through it. See, concept design, again it is end customer user needs. It starts from user needs. What is the need of the user, right? Then you have design planning, then again review, design inputs, then again you have to review, then product design. Now just writing here product design planning, it's not a small step. It is a long step actually, okay. The product design itself is a very long step. It may be trial and error method. It may have lot of calculations and permutation combinations in terms of technology or engineering, if you think or act, or in terms of even business, okay. So what should be the price, what should be the cost, everything taking into consideration, the design product design is to be done, right? Then again review, then design process, then again you have to have what are the design inputs. Then once you have designed, then you have to validate, okay. So validation, if verification, you have to verify. Then suppose it's a iterative process again. If you are not verified, then again you have to change the inputs of the design, then again come through this, right? So it's a loop. Again you have a design validation. Once it is validated, then again it is being tested to the user needs, whether it is correctly functioning or not, okay, or satisfying the user or not, right? Then again it's another loop. Then you have design transfer. Next, see, these are the value chain. I mean, how the technology readiness level 4 to 7. You see, 4 to 7 means 4, 5, 6, 7. We have talked about 1 to 3. These things you can do it in universities, right? Up to proof of concept you can have in the university or the school itself. You can do it, right? But for technology validation, you have to go to the labs. So lab in the sense, not in whatever labs we are set up for student purpose, but labs such as let's say DRDO lab is there, DRDL lab is there, okay, where real products are coming out. For example, Mankind Pharma labs are there. This Arun is working there. So there, because since the real products are coming, which is being used by the customer and the end customer, there the test has to happen, right? Then technology validation in operation in the sense, you have to for example, he was talking about the capsule. So capsule before coming out, or it has to be validated,
in operation, in the sense it has to be given to some of the test patients, right? Then technology demonstration in operation. Then what is the effect of that we have to demonstrate? Okay. And then system demonstration in real world. So system demonstration in real world. So this is the implementation of that technology, okay, or growth of that technology, right? So or you can say the product, whatever you have conceptualized, that in terms of technology, it is developing from level number 4 to level number 7. Okay. Already he has read of product challenges are it has to be better product, higher performance, more sustainability, lower cost, faster production time, and so on. Innovation challenges are commercialization, marketing and sales research, customer feedback. See, the end customer is very, very important. Everything we do in terms of for a product or designing a product is based on the end customer, right? Then process challenges in the industry as well as in the university. Okay. Then the last one is 8 and 9, which is actually graduating that product to the market. So that also it is happening in the industry itself. You see, this is one small graph which is talking about resources and TRLs. So I hope everybody is understanding this graph. You see, once the TRL increases, you see here the resources are very less, right? Here the resources are very less. That means 4 to 6. Now this is research is applied here. So here resources are very less actually, right? Basic research, you have number of academic institutions, other study labs, and resources are okay, right? Then here comes after 6, 7, then government will come into picture, private sector will also come into picture. So the main thing is, if we talk about, I just wanted to bring in the startup thing. You know, when you are going for a startup and then you are doing that TRL checking, TRL level checking, then when it comes to funding, then you see the private sector at the end it is coming. So after 6, 7 levels only, once you show that I am on the level 6 or 7, then only government and private sector is coming to picture. Okay. So you just imagine, so you have to take that journey from 0 level to at least level 5 or 6. And I am very sure that anybody who is going for startup, if it is going and showing or pitching his startup pitch in front of any VCs, venture capitalists, then when it is less than 3, I advise don't go. At least POC you have to finish. You have to have your prototype in your hand, and you must say that this is that the prototype is even patented, or the design is patented, or I am I already tested the prototype, it is working fine. Okay, with how many customers I have tested, then they will listen to you. Otherwise they won't listen. Okay, next, same type. This is a collaboration, academia, industry, business. So again, this model section. So this is what how you can have a gap here, gap in manufacturing innovation. So there is a gap in manufacturing innovation, right? So you see, universities, they will do some research up to 4. Okay, and here there is a gap. 4, 5, 6 again is a most prominent section in terms of problem. Okay, so in technology readiness level 4, 5, and 6, right, it is most important. Okay. After that, once you cross this 6, so in manufacturing field, especially in India, this is the toughest, step. Okay. TRL level 8 technology has been tested and flight qualified, and it's ready for implementation into the already existing technology or system. Once technology has been flight proven during a successful mission, it can be called TRL level 9. TRL level 9. Okay. So this is about the cost, development cost. So the most important cost where the most money goes is TRL level 8 after 7. Also, cost wise, from
Ashutosh sir, kindly
TRL
check your
4
mic.
to 6. Yes, ma'am.
Just check your mic. I think some background noise.
We are on verge of finishing. Yes. You want to say something?
Sir, check your mic. Actually, there is some issues with the mic.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Sir, you're audible, but at the
Am I
same time,
audible
the
now?
background noise is also there. Sir, you're
Okay.
audible, but the background noise is also there with the mic. I think some problem with the mic.
Just wait. Let me.
It is okay. No background noise, anything, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, Ashutosh sir, probably there is internet issues with me, so I was able to listen to that. Please continue.
Yes. It seems like because Harishchandra sir has also wrote it is good, and I'm able to listen properly without
Yes,
any
yes.
disturbances. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, please continue. Ashutosh sir, please continue from where you left. Ashutosh sir, now there is no audio.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, right.
Other faculty member, I request kindly text in the message box if it's audible, it's not audible.
Okay,
So that
fine.
will get
So
clear.
let me.
Yeah. It's audible, sir. Perfectly audible.
Wait.
Thank you.
Fine. So the next one is this one.
Already I have read this TRL number 8 and TRL number 9, which is flight ready, right? So flight proven. So flight proven in the sense that we can go and launch the product. We can go and launch the technology, the product or the service. That means it has reached TRL level 9. In terms of cost scale, the TRL scales calibrated in terms of development cost. The TRL number 8 is the most costly level. On the TRL level 8, the most costly level, right? Next is, this is 9 is the highest level, okay, whereby we are ready for the launch of the product or the technology to the market, or technology transfer in case of patent or something like that, okay, in case of innovation. And can there be any TRL 10? This is my question. Okay. So now you can come with a doubt, and I will give the mic to Arun now. He will be giving one more example at the end, and we will take questions. Arun, please.
Yeah, Astos, thank you. So I'll just quickly bring about the pharma example as to how we do it, right from the TRL 4 to 9, so to say, right? So typically, like, once the like I said, we have the overall the physical working molecule is in place, at the TRL 4 level, we basically start the kind of a controlled lab testing on on the living beings, so to say. Then they are typically tested on the mouse, or the whichever the scientists decide, right? Basically, the product efficacy is established with that, and the safety is established with that, right? And when we enter the TRL 5, that is when we have got a preliminary approvals from the clinical trials on the humans, right? And there is the formal data collection that starts for the first stage of the product validation at the end target consumer to whom the product is designed for. And at the parallel, also we also start the the process development also, while this whole POC is on a kind of on a lab environment, right? You also start working on the whole process development more from a commercial angle, as to, like, when we actually it will be commercially, what is the process that needs to be followed, right? As we enter the TRL number 6, we start working on the external factors, or the other commercialization needs of the product, in terms of the packaging or the other market needs. Those aspects are started to work on, right? And of course, the different stages of the clinical trial continues as these progresses, right? And by the time we enter TRL 8, we have kind of a process validation also established, in terms of the process that is going to be adopted for the actual manufacturing of this product. At TRL 9, when we enter, so we have the process conformance to the product requirement that established as to which is the process that's going to be adopted. The regulatory approvals, right, from the FDA to NPPAs are also established. And one of the typical trend that is now coming up, especially in engineering and now being adopted in pharma, is the adoption of the digital twins, right? So I'm sure you must have heard of it, right? So where we now are leveraging digital twins platform to really see the product and the process conformance in the actual world, right? So again, these are products which are aided by the IoT and the AI in the backend. So these models are also now have caught up uses in the industry, which helps to kind of really, keep track of the product during my testing, as well as also even during my commercialization phase also, right? So that is one thing we established in the TRL 9, and SOPs are in place. My tech transfer starts to the plant, right? In pharma, we also have this concept of golden batch. So this is a stage where my golden batch, is also established. So that is something where that is the kind of ideal batch, how a product will be manufactured with the maximum yield, conforming to the product requirements and the process requirements. Okay, so that's kind of a typical cycle whereby my TRL9 ends, and then like Astos said, the next level is the commercialization phase that starts for us. Okay, thank you. Astos, over to you.
Yeah, no, I will also like to give one example of just wait. Problem is there. See, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Please let me know. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So what I was talking about, I was just giving another one small example of one General Aeronautics Private Limited, right? General Aeronautics Limited. It is a startup, okay, and they are doing, this drones. So they actually gone for agricultural drones, and also they were having a product of surveillance drones, right? So it was started by 2-3 people, and it was being incubated in IISc Bangalore. So actually I was connected to them in terms of I took some sales part of that agri drone, which was actually went to TRL number TRL 9, and it is now giving marketed, right? So it is one of the pioneer in drone manufacturing, drone design and manufacturing. That is the startup. Now it has been taken over by some bigger company. Okay. Anyway, that CEO is same. I will, if you want, you just Google through General Aeronautics Limited. Okay. So you can have the product, how they launch that product. Okay. And one of the CEO and some 2-3 people from IITs, and they employed only people from IISc Bangalore and IIT students, basically from MTech students. So when I visited there in 2019, only some 6-7 people were there. Okay, but now full-fledged, he is getting the orders from in even in whole Karnataka as well as places, apart from not only from India but also from other part of the world. Okay, so now he is being taken over, but still the core team is still same, right? So value addition is very important in terms of technology levels, and I hope that respected faculty members have learned something what we have talked about, right? So I'm open for questions. Please, we are finished now, and Dr. Madhusmita will take some questions if you have.
Yes. Thank you, sir. In fact, the faculty members who are presented here, most of them are having one product or prototype with them. So I would request the faculty members to come up with their queries. I would like to read one question, sir, which is there on the chat message by Santosh Satpathy, sir. Is asking what should be the minimum TRL level when someone is going to apply to DST or DBT project?
Okay.
That's the first question.
So the question is, if you are applying for some project, right? So it depends upon whether. Am I clear? My voice is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your voice is clear.
Wait. Okay, fine. So what I was talking about, it depends upon whether you are going for patent or you are developing something. Which type of project is that? Okay. So if for this type of project, this is your research project, right? So you have to show that whatever I will be doing, right, that is to be theoretically proved. I mean, you have to show something theoretically at least that I am going to do this and my expected result is this. That much you have to do at least.
Can we put the experimental data, sir?
Definitely, you can prove the experimental data, but the data has to be. The data has to be generated in your lab.
Yes. Then what is that this TRL value will what is that one? 3 will put or 2?
No, it is 2.
Okay.
Because the moment you are not making prototype in terms of product, for example, he was talking about IT, some system. So if you are developing a system and testing it, then that means you have done the prototype. That means it is TRL level 3 is over, right?
Okay.
But if it is in a conceptual stage, that means what you have done is mathematically or you make some model, engineering model, and hypothetically or mathematically you have proved that my model is correct. That means it is TRL2.
Okay. Right. So if we have only the experimental data, we have not experimental any proof, then we'll only put TRL2.
Correct, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Ashutosh sir, I had a question.
Yes.
So like we are having some designs with us, product designs, and we did not make any prototypes. So like those designs went for filing IPR. So
Correct.
what kind of TRL level that may be?
Okay, so you have a design. Now that design is tested.
Yes.
The design is tested, but it is not a product.
Similarly,
It is
no,
not a
it's
product.
not a
Right?
product.
It can be taken as 3. Why? Because see, sir was asking whether data is taken as whatever data we have generated and validated that data, that will be under 2. But you can take it in 3 because you have designed that and you have tested that design. At least you have tested on system. Am I right?
Yes.
So on the system, if
Yes.
you have tested, that means you can go ahead and file the patent. That my design is this, and this is the new design, right? So as an innovation, you need a patent. So it can be as 3, TRL3.
Thank you. Is there any other questions from the faculty members?
Yes, this is Dr. Sudhanshu. Sir, I have a basic questions actually. Sometimes it happens that the proof of concept is always there. Maybe some of has already proven in some sites. We are making some prototype here and that is already being tested. But the starting theory we have not. We have followed some theory and we make a prototype and we developed it and tested also.
So what is the product, sir? What is that?
We are making e-vehicle controller, suppose.
E-vehicle controller. Okay, fine.
Yes, the controller we have already designed and it is tested also and successful. But
fine.
We are not the basic idea and the basic research we have not done. It is already done by somebody else and something is there in there. Maybe
Then, sir, it cannot be taken as patent, no, because those people will come into picture when your patent will be public. At that time, they told that they will tell that the basic concept is mine. He's not.
Yes,
so that is the problem actually. So so newness has to be there. Okay, if you are filing patent, I hope I think Dr. Madhusmita will have one this type of workshop or seminar on IPR. It is very important for faculty members.
We have done so. We have conducted several sessions on IPR, and going forward also will.
Okay. So that what do you call it? The newness has to be there. It has to be your own thinking, your own concept, and based on that, if you have done the proof of concept, then it will be accepted.
That means something we can modify something and you can add something in that.
Correct. That you can do. Yes. Obviously, if you have modified and then you can come up with some new function.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Then also it can be patented.
Okay. That's the basic research we have done. That's why I'm asking. It is not 1, 2, 3 TRL, but we have already developed something with some knowledge, some extra knowledge or something. Some we have already added, and it is already there. The prototype is also
Correct.
developed. It is now
Yes,
we are
sir,
going
yes.
for the commercialization. Means we are going for the 6, 7 level of TRL. But first
Okay.
1, 2, 3 we have done. We have not basic things we have done. So how can we go from starting or directly from the fourth or third? That is
No. You have to go from the starting, sir.
okay, that new theory you have to some new theory you have to adopt it, and based on that.
Not new theory, but new product or new
New
concept.
concept.
New concept, not theory. Theory, it can be based on any theory, no problem.
Okay. Yeah.
But the concept has to be there. Maybe the
Mm.
function may be different. Okay, end product may be different. The use may be different, right?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
I would like to put a question that suppose if we have some experimental results and I mean we can say that we have accidentally developed a product actually, and we are not trying to develop that product but accidentally it happened. So currently we don't have any theoretical proof for that why it happened.
Okay.
So can we apply this for a patent, and what will be the level of this technological innovation?
See, you can apply, definitely
Yes.
you can apply, but what you do is you reverse calculate, sir. Try to reverse, go back and
Okay.
find out on which concept it was found. Accidentally you found, no problem. But you have to check whether it is a new thing, right? If it is
Yes,
a new
sir.
thing, then you go back and tell that it is based on this principle. We developed this, okay, and we have got this result, and it is tested now, and I want to apply for that.
Okay,
so
sir.
When they will ask,
Yeah.
On what concept, on what do you call basic idea you have started, at that time you will not be able to tell anything, no?
Right, sir.
So what you do is you go back calculation कीजिए या फिर ऐसा कीजिए कि whatever data has come, no, you try to relate with some principle.
Okay.
Because you have got the new thing now.
Yes.
Right? The value is also added.
Right.
Actually, you are correct. The only thing is concept you have to find out.
Okay. Okay.
So you try to find out the concept and then go and apply, no problem.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for your answer, sir.
Yes, sir. Anything,
Any other
Arun,
question?
want to add on this?
No, I think Astos quite rightly said, mostly in terms of the patent, even though this whole incident of, I'll try to brief one more our experience at Mankind.
Please go ahead.
So so there's a molecule called dihydrogesterone, so which is basically there's only one pharma company in the world who has who has cracked this, so to say, Abbott, right? So I mean, and nobody else in the world or none in the India could have done that. So it took somehow like 3 years for our R&D team to crack that molecule, but however, we were the second in the world to do that, and of course we have commercialized that. But like I said, it was accidental. At the same time, it was also so we could not really get into the patent of this, right? So while we have, it's a kind of a unique, or I would say really a big breakthrough for the organization, but at the same time the patent could not be filed, nor we could leverage the the uniqueness of this product in the market, right? So we did commercialize this, but like you said, we could not be holding the patent of this product. So like you said, that's what I was wanted to relate, one of the practical example for what has happened to our company. Yeah.
Arun sir, I had a question in the same line. From 1 to 3, like different parts like conceptualizations, development, and deployment, what should be the acceptable time frame? Let's say I had a concept today, I had a concept, like within a month I have tested, and then from TRL level 3 to TRL level 7, from conceptualization to development, what should be the ideal time frame? Ideal means generally industry acceptable time frame. And once that is developed, from development to the deployment or commercialization phase, what should be the generally acceptable time frame? It is not like that I have developed something and then I am experimenting, I am doing market research for years and years, and I'm not commercializing that. So like what should be the acceptable thing? That's what my question is.
Okay, so Dr. Madhusmita, so it's effect from the pharma angle, if I have to say right now, so actually I bring in that know-how for now, so I'll be able to limit myself in that, right? So from a pharma angle, see the TRL 1 to 3 is something which is pretty much kind of a long duration in terms of that is where you are actually doing a kind of a discovery altogether, right? And 4 to 7 typically takes a cycle of around 2 to 3 years. That's where the whole clinical trials and the regulatory approvals and all that get into place. But from 7 to 9 is a phase which typically lies in the hand of the organization to fast track its deployment, right? So that's where like I told earlier, we already start working on those in the prior phase itself. By the time we reach like 7-6 itself, we start working on the plans of the commercials also in in the background to shorten that period of the deployment, right? But 4 to 7 typically for us in pharma is governed by strictly governed by the regulatory requirements, where we have to establish the clinical trial data and seek the approvals, right? So there it is kind of we are kind of bound. But 1 to 3 is typically, again, it's a long lead time, because there you actually are like discovering some new product altogether. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Do we have some other question? Okay, so it seems there is no question. So I would like to propose, sir.
Sorry, Astos, you're not audible. I think Astos is trying to speak. Astos, we cannot hear you.
Hello, Ashutosh ji, you're not audible. Ashutosh sir, can you hear me? Can you just put your text in the chat message so that at least we would see you are still there with us? Okay.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You're audible now.
I just wanted to add one or two things on your question.
Please, sir. Please go ahead.
I was telling that when it is no what do you call it, the time frame is not fixed. Okay, it's not general time frame. Based on pharma, it may take for 1 to 3, as he told. For research, it will take maybe 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, up to 10 years also it may take, right? For example, if you are going for manufacturing field, for example, let's say if I take drone manufacturing, so in that it may take only 1 year, right? Based on, let's say, for pen manufacturing, it may take, let's say, 6 months. So it is not any way generalized. You cannot say general time frame. Okay. So based on product, based on service, okay, the time frame is different. Right. I hope you understand that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I got it.
Okay, fine. Please go ahead. Any question? Further,
Yes.
more question we can take.
Okay. Any other questions from the faculty participant? I would like to propose vote of thanks
Right.
on behalf of all the faculty members, as seems there is no question. So I would like to thank Dr. Ashutosh sir, who has presented the idea at TRL level and the total concepts. So this TRL concept was in my mind since when I was working with ARIA and I was doing the data. And when I was asking the faculty members to fill those data, so we were about to, label the product and the POCs, what is the TRL and all. So that was the point. This TRL was in my mind, and when I was connected with Ashutosh ji, so this is the first concept I requested sir for a webinar and for a session, and he has thankfully accepted that. And he and Arun sir is also with us, and who shared the concept as well as the practical experiences as per my request. Like yesterday I have put my request, sir, please make it happening and please make it more industry relevant. And he rightfully brought that combination of theory plus practical implementations with the industry relevant experiences from pharma industry. And so I am very much thankful to Ashutosh sir for accepting my request and for organizing a session with us. I also thankful to Arun Sai sir, who is bringing that industry expert, and he's rightly pitching in the examples wherever we are, the concept is there, like deployment, developments, and conceptualizations from pharma industry. At the same time, I would like to once. Yes, at last, I'm also trying to, thank all the faculty members who are with us. Today is Shivratri, and with that, also the faculty members are here, and they are asking questions, the questions of Sudhanshu sir and questions of Satyanarayan Dhal. So we really thankful for everyone for joining and for making this webinar quite success. And thank you very much, sir. And there is a message from Dr. Bidanchi sir also. So this is very informative. Indeed, this is very informative and very much practical. So thank you everyone for your time and for the energy you have shared. Thank you very much.
Dr. Madhusmita.
Thank you, all of you. Thanks a lot. It was nice sharing with all the ideas.
Thank
with you.
you.
Thank you.
Have a great time.
Thank you, sirs, and Dr. Madhusmita. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. With everyone's permission, now I would like to close the session. Dr. Nitesh, kindly close the session and please complete the recordings of the session.